is things we save. And when I heard that, I was completely perplexed. And I said to Jill, what am I going to talk about? I don't save anything. And she said, oh, really? Look in the top shelf in the front closet. Well, she had a point. You know those little hand baskets that you get in the grocery store? Well, I have about 5 of them, and they're filled with semi-obsolete power cords. You can't throw those things away. I don't save them. I just don't throw them away. You never know when you're going to need a power cord. Well, she got me thinking about it, so I went into the closet and started sorting through the boxes, and I was amazed by what I found. I found a universal power cord. That sucker powers anything in the universe. And I had one. And I flashed back to when my older son David was 4 or 5 years old in the early 80s. One of his favorite superheroes was He-Man, the Masters of the Universe series. And He-Man was kind of a wimpy little prince with a Prince Valiant haircut. And whenever he was threatened by evil, he had this sword that he'd pick up and he'd hold it up and say, by the sword of whoever, I have the power, and thunder and lightning. And he would become transformed into this muscle-bound superhero in a skimpy little leotard. And I thought, hey, that wouldn't be a bad look for me. I could make that happen. And that sent me into a daydream reverie. Does that ever happen to you when you just start to daydream? And I thought, okay, well, I've got a universal power cord. I have the power. What can I do with my universal power cord? And I imagined that I was sitting on a bench in front of the Galax Public Safety Building. Now in Galax, Public Safety Building is code for police department. But I was there, and suddenly there was this strong smell of rotten eggs, a sulfury smell. And I looked up at the building, and there was this greenish yellow smoke coming out of all the windows. And the building was just dripping slime, something weird in the neighborhood. Who you gonna call? Ghostbusters. And no sooner did I get the word out of my mouth than here they come screaming down Main Street, turned into the parking lot. The siren is going, and they screech to a halt. The doors pop open, and the Ghostbusters get out. And they put on their proton packs, and they reach back and grab their wands, and they pull that out, and they take aim, but there's no juice. There's no power. Who are they going to call? Cord Master! So I pulled out my universal power cord because I have the power, and I went over and I charged all of their proton packs, and boy, they made short work of those Galax haints, and they ain't been back since. And oh, it felt so good in my daydream reverie because I had all of these admirers standing around. I was a hero. I made the day. The girls were looking at me going, oh, isn't he wonderful? And I was loving it. So I just carried on with the daydream. And in scene 2, I was standing on the sidewalk in front of the Galax Walmart. I don't get around much. And again, lightning and thunder and boom, boom. And in front of me, I heard tires screeching and stopped in front of me. And there was steam and smoke coming in a big cloud. And when it had all cleared away, there was a DeLorean time machine. And the gull-wing doors opened up, and Doc Brown and Marty McFly got out of it. And Marty is, what's going on? What's going on? And Doc Brown says, oh, great Scott, the flux capacitor isn't fluxing. Who are they going to call? Cord Master. Because I have the power, and I was there. And I helped them out and got their flux capacitor fluxing, and they went on their way to keep the timeline solid and steady. And again, I was the object of admiration. Why else daydream, right? In scene 3, which is the final scene, I'm picturing the depths of space. It's cold, and it's dark, and it's lifeless. And floating along is the Starship Enterprise. And it's dead. It doesn't have any power. And suddenly, Klingon birds of prey start to decloak. Pop, 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 pop. And Kirk says, Mr. Zulu, shields. Aye, aye, Captain. Red alert, red alert. And the red light is flashing on the bridge, and the siren's going whoop, whoop, whoop. And everyone's running around to their battle stations, and Kirk sits in his chair and pushes the button and said, get us out of here, Scotty. Now would be a good time. And Scotty says, I can't do it, Captain. I don't have the power. Who are they going to call? All together, Cord Master. And I was there. I had the power, and I recharged their engine, and they went on their way and saved the universe. And I was standing there in the closet still, basking in my own wonder. And then suddenly, I was derailed, all of it. It was just not there anymore. Because from the kitchen, I heard Jill's voice say, Wayne, don't forget to take out the trash. And that's my story. I hope you got a charge out of it.